And that can go back and forth with the Oracle route kind of messing things up. Heck, even a value point in time dilation hurts a Pangolier in a big way there.
Yeah, certainly does. Certainly does. Alrighty, let's get into it. It is game number 3 between iG.V and Lonely Rock and Roll as these two teams battle it out. Both of them are currently in that relegation zone. If iG.V can pull off a win here, they get at least the chance of not getting relegated. Meanwhile, Lonely Rock and Roll, if they get off a win here, then they are going to force at least some sort of tie to get themselves out of the relegation zone. So, a lot to play for both of these teams. Who's going to pull it off? Well, that's what we're here to find out, folks.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of tiebreakers, so if iG.V wins, that's where we get that potential 3-way tie for the bottom 2. It's a terrifying tiebreaker as well. You know, it's not the tiebreaker you want to be in for relegation, especially for LRNR, but for iG.V, it's their last chance at staying here, so all in for them to try to make something happen.
China qualifiers are always so scary, that's the thing, so we'll see what they're able to do, what they're able to pull off. You really do not want to be stuck down there. Potential if you're basically your kind of potential career being put on hold. It's really rough.
Having to go through the brutality of open qualifiers and closed qualifiers once more. Never a good feeling. We've seen a lot of teams barrel through their way there. You know, teams like Cactus right now went through those qualifiers and they're doing pretty damn well. You have to face teams of that caliber. It's not easy. So as much as possible, of course, you want to have an easy start into the next tour. Still taking a look at these lanes unfold, taking a peek down mid first with Totoro up against D-Stones on the SF versus Ember. And this should be a little bit more manageable for Totoro. You can kind of apply really good harass onto the Ember once you stack some Shadow Raises up. Against a melee hero, doesn't take too much. Cooldown on Sleight of Fist is low enough in the lane that those opportunities to punish should present themselves fairly consistently there.
Yeah, when it comes down to this lane, it's pretty much all about how much Totoro is able to do with these raises early on. D-Stones, he needs to be very careful with dodging them out, making sure he uses Sleight of Fist correctly. Don't let Totoro get last hits and damage on you with those raises. Because that's what he's going to be trying to do. That's how he finds value. As you see there, you know, going for the last hit whilst also trying to catch out D-Stones. So D-Stones just throws in the quick Sleight of Fist and doesn't let him do it. But Totoro also pumping fakes there. So they both know exactly what this matchup's all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
just about finding those openings.
It's rough.
But no follow-through from Totoro, so you have a little bit of breathing room there, just wasting some mana out. But by the time you hit level 2 raises, that's where it gets really painful. Your Flame Guard will just melt, you're not going to be able to clear out the wave as much with it, and you don't really have any relief.
No, we're not looking at it anymore, but it's really fun just watching these two trying to like fake each other out. You know, D-Stone's just like playing on the edge of these Sleight of Fists, so many pump fakes, but D-Stone's doing an excellent job on like realizing when he's going to go for it and when he's not. That's pretty fun in the early levels. You know, up in the top lane, stuns out onto Y, but Wenhao just comes in, grabs them both inside, and with the Fear coming through as well, it's a decent amount of damage. I think maybe a little bit off the mark there with the cooling. The Revenant's not going through the cogs. The hitboxes are smaller than you realize, I think, with the cooling. It's a bit of a misleading one.
Yeah, it's a little bit finicky, but it's a little bit of a stronger start as well for Ukyo. Like, he is finding some play. There is still a leveled spike coming out here for your Muerta and Clockwork for YYYY and Wenhao, but you also have those same leveled spikes in iG.V.
Yeah.
So it is much more manageable. Level 3, level 4 for Ukyo is when things start to get a little bit silly for the CK to look for those burst plays. Both the Clock and the Muerta are going to be susceptible to that. And your harassment onto him with your dead shot isn't particularly amazing. Ukyo just has a lot of armor to play with, along with a Wraith Band on hand, so the right-click harass isn't going to be particularly amazing either. CK just a little bit too beefy to shove away there.
Yeah. It's a bit of a monster hero. A good stats early on. Hard to fight into. Yeah, interested to see how this offlane Muerta pans out. Obviously not a hero you typically expect to see on the offlane. More of a carry in mid sort of hero, but I mean, if Weaver can work as an offlaner, then why not Muerta, I suppose?
Yeah, I think it does have room to kind of play. Speaking of the offlanes, like the other lane that we haven't really taken a peek at is Tax on the Pango and DQQ on a Monkey on that offlane up against Big Cannon, Safe Lane Void, and the Oracle coming out here for Bocce. And this lane is pretty back and forth. You are finding some good farm out on Big Can, but Tax and DQQ are actually controlling the lane really well, getting some good pulls, getting some good denies. They're not being harassed out, which is to be expected. It is much more passive here from LRNR. There's not much the Oracle and Faces Void can do to apply harassment back. You can poke and prod from fairly safe distance for both sides as well. And you can scout out really well with a monkey.
Yeah, you can. Pango doing much better than I was expecting. Top lane, they make a bit of a go onto the Jakiro, but it doesn't quite work yet. I think the dead shot did get missed, so Jakiro's going to be okay. But yeah, constant trading going on, just in both the side lanes, constantly trying to fight with each other. No portal rotations as of yet, but they've actually managed to get the Muerta, and the Cogs actually drag Y back into it as well, so not ideal. Taking a lot of harassment there. And yeah, they're going to have to share some tangos. Look at this. They're still going. They're not done. Oh, nice dead shot. That might buy Y the space he needs to get away and survive through this one. But a lot of aggression being shown here from iG.V. They don't want to let them get away with his offlane Muerta, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's fairly annoying for Ukio to play into the Cogs and the dead shot.
Oh no. DQQ. Wasn't ready for the Roshan, who just comes in and punches him in the back of the head as he's trying to go for the TP. Of course, it turns to nighttime. You got to be ready. Everyone speeding up for the night. You love to see it.
Yeah. I enjoy that. Less vision, more speed. Probably the reflection of taking too much caffeine at nighttime for a lot of these heroes. And they can't see as well. They can run extra fast.
Yes, that's how it works. Every time you can't see something, you should always try and go faster. The Chaos Knight is actually going down here. That's going to be a first blood. They will get the return kill onto Y, but yeah, first blood for Wenhao. Pretty big deal. Now, can he get out is the question. He's got a Fairy Fire, he's got a Wand, but he's going to need more than that if he wants to live through this, and he does just accept his fate and dies.
It's a little bit awkward for iG.V because you lose your CK early, so you are actually ahead in levels now in your supports, but that shouldn't last for too long. Again, you're finding the punishment to slow down Y and Wenhao, and your CK is starting to hit its early laning spikes when the power treads up.
Yeah, nice kill at bottom, just onto the Pangolier. As usual, support rotates out, you jump in, get the kill.
Yep, it's the punishment you need. As you know, your Void lane is a little bit slower than you'd want it to be, so an important kill to find there. But you don't mind too much in Pango. Like, you already have your Vanguard up, chances are you won't die that way again next time. Up top, they're still applying that aggression. They're just constantly applying that pressure. You still have DQQ hanging in the back as well, providing some vision, but not going to be able to go for the full commitment out. But now that you've got level 4 and Ukio with a level 2 Chaos Strike, you really don't want to have to take some hits from the CK. It is a lot of damage, and you do have some padding on Y with a fluffy hat up.
Fights for the Wisdom Rune, and DQQ is going to be able to secure it. So Washi came across once again to try and find it, and actually using the Fortune's End on DQQ might actually make him go down. And yeah, the second time we've seen this happen in this series where Boshi goes for the Wisdom Rune and ends up just dying for it. Maybe not a wise move.
I mean, you still have to contest. Like, they're just that important. You have to still put your body forward, make the enemy team work for it. And you lose out, DQQ gets the freebie kill, is about to hit 5 in the support monkey. So again, a big spike for iG.V to play with. And they still have really good control over the teleporter. Like, they've been able to jump in and out of that area uncontested. They've got the Watcher up as well. No one's been denying that off. Big Can's not safe solo.
Yeah, he has got the Time Walk, which he's going to use when the damage comes through. And now going to leave. Could Boundless strike him just to be annoying, but thinks better of it. Lets him leave. And they've got Totoro here with a DD. So this tower might be meeting its end pretty damn quickly.
Again, the offlane towers are much more important. Offlane and safe lane towers are just big in map control right now. So just finding this early bot is going to help you feel a lot better here on the side of iG.V in map control. They are trying to shove out top. But you've got a Jakiro in that lane. You've still got your CK cemented there as well. Not going to be easy to force it out.
Yeah.
And the movement here for Big Can. He can try to farm here. He's sharing space with YYYY is already the kind of EXP started for a core. So it's not the best feeling in the world. They'll concentrate mid, but again, not the biggest objective anymore.
Well, it's still important as Totoro is being jumped right now, and he is actually going to end up going down. So yeah, the movement's in towards mid from the Radiant. an old school rotation, some could say. And it's not ending here. The Rolling Thunder's going to cut. Oh, nice timing on those cogs actually to bash back tax and stop him getting off the rolling. That's pretty big. Almost feel like you want him to get off the Rolling Thunder and waste it and just bounce him away with the cogs, but that would have been a riskier play. I like that. Good move. Yeah, I mean, one thing about the other side lanes as well is that you do have these outposts on the Radiant and the Dire by the safe lane towers, so I don't think you feel quite as bad letting them go compared to the off-lane towers, but if both the off-lane and the safe lane tower go, then it's a really big deal. You just can't play the map anymore. Wenhao is going to end up dropping here, but they do get to trade SJ for it. The nukes from Boshi from the sidelines definitely going to work, but Boshi now might be in a stick of difficulty here as there's a lot of heroes running down him. They can. I mean, he has got a chrono. Yeah, he could do it to save the Oracle, but that's not the way that goes. Oracle saved you, not the other way around. And he's been so patient on this the chrono sphere, honestly. Kind of insane.
And it pays off. Like, he gets the bashes he needs to get that fight going his way, and he finds the big kill he wants. So Big Can takes an Ukyo in exchange for his support.
Yep.
You don't find that back and forth.
Love to see it. Interesting game. Very interesting. It's close, but yeah, definitely favoring the Dire at the moment, but not by much. Not by much at all. The only big thing is how poorly YYYY has done. This Morta has been a tricky one for LRNR to make work.
Yeah, it's been slow going. And he's still being constantly hunted. You still have this vision coming out from DQQ. They could try to make a play, but you're just a little bit too far from Totoro's reach, so he should be able to back off unless he overstays his welcome here just a bit, but plays it safe. A rather even game, a more even start in comparison to our first two games, 5-5, 1K lead for iG.V. All cores evenly farmed outside of YYYY. So this should lead to some interesting back and forths, right? Like, I think we haven't really seen an even game, although YYYY.
Oh, still gonna go down. The damage from the SF is a little bit too much. Does land the fear, but yeah, unlucky.
It's just been rough going for him. Again, the outlier here for LRNR's performance. They're still not able to find that tower trade up top. Tax rolls around to just clear out the creep wave. Yeah. Not going to be able to find any connection, but saving the objective for a bit longer.
Yeah, and you know, this is the off-lane Pango, right? Not the mid Pango from before, so you feel kind of better about him just kind of using his time to slow down the enemy team and not really finding much profit for himself. It's okay.
Yeah, they drop the Wukongs as well to prevent the full push commitment. So they still hold on to that safe lane.
Yeah.
You don't have like any sort of map advantage coming out here for LRNR. Whereas iG.V's been using the bot jungle really well. Just getting a lot of free farm going for Totoro. Allowing that SF to scale up faster and faster into that BKB. No.
Pavais picked up by the clockwork here as he's now running forward, looking for the plays onto Yukio. Yukio getting low, is going to fall down. YYYY is going to grab that kill with Pierce the Veil. And that's a nice little pickup for the side of the Radiant. Big carry boy going down. You love to see it.
Yeah. Nice kill to take. It looked like iG.V might have been set for that fight. Macropyre on top in the cogs, but not really able to follow through and protect that CK. So they find a big kill. Again, not going to fully commit to the mid. Just find what farm they can. Go back, try to build up even further. Again, still a really even game. 6-6. 1K lead for iG.V. Our odds look flat even at the start here as well, which is reflecting in this game so far. And the launching point is probably just when you have these early items up, right? Like, Big Can already has the Mom going into the Maelstrom. That should be the point where you see more offensive Chronos.
Clockwork in a bit of trouble down here, though. Pavais doing its job and keeping him alive. Ooh. Yeah, that was big, actually. First time I've seen that item really put to work, but that was very good.
Yeah, it just gives you enough survivability. And it's such a high value item with pretty simple build up as well. So nice read from Wenhao to just beat this durable front line for the team, buy them some space, and allow this time for you to just keep building up. Once you hit critical mass, again, once you're ready to actually gun down with, say, these Chronos, it does feel a lot better. They will smoke up with these stones. Phase Boots, Orb Corrosion up. should be able to melt some heroes here.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. We're now leading the charge. Looking for the hookshot target. Are they reading it? Doesn't look like it. Tack's still sticking around. Could be the target. They have a lockdown to kill off a Pangolier? Maybe not. Maybe they want to try and find someone else. Over on the sidelines, there is a Monkey King jumping around as well. And one more hero, SJ, moving through the river. Yeah, he's actually going to TP over. He knows where they are. He's read this beautifully. And D-Stones, he's bored. He's walking in. Popping the Arcane Rune, trying to get to work with these Sleight of Fists. You can't fight an Ember Spirit with an Arcane Rune. It's just not going to happen.
It's too slippery. You still have that issue of control here for IGV. The tower still set to go.
Yep, trying to combo things up onto Tax. Doing a pretty nice job so far, but they'll need a little bit more, and they're not going to have it. So he's going to get it all. Tries to go in with the Chronosphere, but does get bashed up. Chrono anyway. He's going to sit in the fire. He doesn't give a damn. And is it going to matter? Tax still alive for the time being. He's surviving through this. Oh my god, the Pangolier does not fall. Does finally die to D-Stones at the end, but not before they kill a Boshi and Wenhao, and now they move across towards Big Can as well. Big Can, he has got a time walk, needs to use it very, very well here, and does do so. Jump over to the trees, TP out, and the Faceless Void does survive. But, man, during this whole time, Yukio was just away farming as well. So, big win for IGV, I would say.
And works out. You don't find the core kill you'd want, but you find some punishment. You still lose your tier 1. But, again, you still have the outposts to kind of play with. So, it's not the biggest loss in the world. And you equalize map control a little bit for LRNR. So, you buy some space out for your own farm to kick in. You wait for that Maelstrom. The first chrono of Big Can, not quite the best showing. Again, already a good position out there from SJ and from Tax to kind of stack up the Macropyre, get yourself positioned in there, force the chrono on top of that, and not make it the comfiest time for Big Can to just do the damage you want to do there.
Ooh, a little bit of a go here onto the Pangolier, but not quite working out. Yeah, didn't really see them work in that last fight either, did we? Didn't have much for impact, not quite sure where she was there. They go in onto the SF here, big jump, and look at the shield on this Clockwork as well. He's a tanky boy. Toronto, actually gonna get away? No, never mind. D-Stones chases him down. The Ember Spirit does get the kill here, but now could be in some trouble himself. He's out of remnants, he's running out of health as well. He has got a Sleight of Fist to use. He needs to use it very, very well, and does do so to escape the stun from Tax, but doesn't matter in the end. You're not Indiana Jones, you cannot escape this boulder, and Yukio is going to be able to kill him off in the end.
It's, again, a pretty decent trade coming out from IGV. You sacrifice another core in your SF, but Ukio is getting all the kills. And this time he manages to finish up his Echo Saber. So your CK is kind of set to start fighting around with the Echo and the Armlet up, going for the BKB next. On the side of LRNR, have to be careful about bleeding out these kills. Sure, it's still rather even, but we've seen games like this just kind of flip on its head once you start to get hyper aggressive on one side. DQQ off the back of all of these assists as well, not dying once, has the Diffusal up on his support monkey. Doesn't even need the boots. He's been spending a lot of time in the tree dance anyway. So he's got the inhibit to help hold down some of these heroes as we get a pause from LRNR.
Yeah, both teams pausing out at the moment. Not too sure what that's about, but I wonder if we're going to see a Disperser coming out from the Monkey King. I was wondering about this one because we have seen some position 4 heroes going for this Diffusal Blade. Ricky and Monkey King most likely heroes to build that. So I was wondering, I mean, because, you know, Disperser, it does give you that kind of support-ish ability where you can fire it on an ally and give them 100% movement speed bonus, makes them unslowable for 4 seconds. Pretty insane, right?
Yeah, it helps. Go sorry, they go. It helps with, say, heroes that are really kiteable, like say the SF to an extent. The CK kind of just get in and out of these fights better, get their positioning right. So there is a lot of value in it. I think DQQ does want to just go like a semi-core right now into the BKB and the Orchid, just because that he feels like they need more, a little bit more hard control. The Orchid sense is going to be big. BKB kind of negates a lot of what you'd want to do with everyone else as well. DQQ.
Oh, wow. Wukong's command just being used to kill a Bochi. That is kind of insane. I'm surprised he got away with that. That was a chrono and a hook shot just right behind him, but neither of them were quick enough to help out. Even had a Bevice, could have saved him.
Yeah. Just kind of give it away. And DQQ again, I mean, these free kills coming out for the support monkey. It means a lot.
Why? And D-Stone's going to pick up this kill onto the Jakiro.
Yeah. Again, pickoff's big, even though it's not the biggest heroes. These are such big gold injections and EXP injections due to creep gold not scaling and EXP not scaling as much there as well. So you don't mind on the side of LRNR just finding these free kills. Same for iG.V. Your cores are still farming a little bit better on iG.V. Again, they're using this map space pretty damn well. They clear out camps pretty fast as well. You've already got the early aura coming out from Tax with that full Guardian Greaves up. It's a lot more protection in the middle of these engagements. You might not have enough damage coming through in the chrono as long as that Guardian Greaves is around nearby.
I just realized we have 3 faded brooches on the side of Lonely Rock and Roll, by the way. They are broached up and ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one neat thing about how these neutrals work, right? You kind of just have the option to take what you want, and if you can always take the faded brooch, why not? Back in the rotation, always felt good to get that item, and now everyone can have their own little brooch. Life is fair now.
We're all brooch enjoyers on this blessed day. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Just 20 movement speed early on in the games. Very sick. So, yeah, off late Bangalore, we went for this Greaves and Vanguard build. So I won't be offering much in the way of damage. That's all going to be on the SF and on the CK as they bring down DQQ. Finally giving a bit of punishment to this hero, which has been playing very obnoxiously for a long time and hasn't been punished for it yet, but there we go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's, again, a big kill. You're punishing the slight greed in the build-up here for your monkey. They finally do get that move out. He's been stuck in that top area for a long time.
Wow.
Not getting shoved out. You do have the early BKBs ready to go now, so got some play ready to happen here for the side of iG.V if they wanted to on Tathora.
Is under attack.
Goodness me, Jonathan, look at the time. It's Torment time.
Yeah, Tormentor time.
No.
If either side does decide to run into it early, it does look like they are angling for fights here.
Yeah, they're feeling the taste of blood in the water. A nice little jump out there from the Ember Spirit does get him to safety. Very low on mana though, so almost didn't have enough for that. A couple more hits and he would have been fully drained.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, my man's got up a vice. You can't kill him that easily. Okay, they killed him that easily, so
yeah. When you don't turn it on, you die pretty fast.
Yep.
The chain stun's kicking in there.
Unlucky. All the while, why? It's just not really playing very actively on this Muerta at all. Just kind of sitting at bottom, farming it up, hitting some creeps, and yeah, ignoring the world. And now has a Maelstrom coming out to him, so it's going to increase farming ability. A very, very high damage output item for Muerta, but yeah, it does feel like something's off, I think. You've got to know there's heroes in the area, but luckily there's this very, very safe camp you can farm. Probably the safest camp in the game is this hard camp over on the very left shoulder.
You're fairly deep in. Don't really have the best spots for good wards.
Yeah. Oh, he gets out. That was close.
Yeah, that is on the bleeding edge for him. Bails out, gets his BKB. So he has a nice surprise waiting when they do re-engage here from the side of LRNR. But iG.V, they've got the blink ready on Tax. They've got some angles to take. No one going for the Tormentors just yet.
No, that's
surprising.
Yeah. I feel like you've got some very, very good shards this game on supports as well. Clockwork and Oracles I like quite a lot. I think Reign of Destiny is still very good as a shard ability.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah. It's just kind of neat. The old Ags is now a shard. Scan does spot them out, rotating on iG.V. Smoke on smoke here.
Yeah.
And they've got Chrono ready. DD is up as well, but no one's nearby to take it from a LRNR side.
Yeah, I can see why iG.V don't really care too much about the Tormentor. It's kind of meh to them. Like a bit of ability for DQQ is all right. For SJ, I think Liquid Frost is probably one of the worst shards now, in all honesty. Hot take, I'm sure. Oh, beautifully done there as they humble up the cooling here with the hookshot coming through onto the Chaos Knight, and that will be enough damage to bring him down. Y brings the big guns out and takes down the CK. When out, now backing away, DQQ looking for the trees, looking for the initiation, but will not be finding it. iG.V are just going to call it quits and back themselves off. That was very, very nicely executed from the side of Lindley Rock and Roll. 2.1k damage dealt from the Muerta as well. Would like to see. Stepping it up.
He does pop her ult, but the output is there. Saves just not on time from iG.V. And again, evening the game out a little bit. I mean, iG.V haven't had the opportunity to really use their own fresh BKBs in the big way they'd want to just yet. And their DD does fade on Totoro, so they can't get a fast push. And now you have to deal with a BKB up on Big Can. And they are going for the Tormentor. You will be able to find it. Shard out for Bocce, so there's that Reign of Destiny on hand.
Hell yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It's still kind of insane that his old Ags is now a Shard. Sure, it's nerfed a little bit, but I mean, it's a lot of utility to have on hand. And your new Ags is kind of the time when False Promise was silly. So you kind of get everything you want in the Oracle in this patch.
It's really good. It's really, really good. I'm a big fan. Yeah, Reign of Destiny plus False Promise, just heals galore. It's essentially 100 healing per second if you want to be basic about it.
Yeah, it's a lot. And again, for the side of iG.V, they've got some physical burst on hand, but they have to find a way to survive through. A good chrono here can still throw them off, and we haven't seen Big Can even have to commit that recently at all. So
Okay, because I know a
not
Twitch
even
channel
backing
like, they're
that.
gonna go, that's not 100 heal per second, that's 40 heal per second. But it gives a 25% healing amplification inside its radius, which means that if it's healing you, then it's giving 25% bonus heal, which means it's actually 50 heal per second. And then False Promise gives 100% heal amplification on top of that as well, which makes it 100 heal per second. Shut up, idiots. As over on the side, we have a Clockwork going down. Big Can, he's also in this area, and actually everybody's in this area. This is a fight and a half. They've managed to get the Chronosphere onto the Shadow Fiend, but he doesn't have nearly enough damage to offer any kind of threat onto the SF, and SF just going to turn around and Requiem the boy down. You want to fight me? You want to fight me, Big Can? Oh, the Ice Path doesn't actually quite connect, so Big Can is going to be able to get away as Roche comes running past. A nice little cogs onto 2. Reign of Destiny on top of it as well. They will kill off Yukio, and they're going to look for more. D-Stones initiating hard. They want to try and get the finish off here onto Tax. Tax, he is in trouble in the trees, doesn't get away, and he will die. And now look at Totoro as well. He's taking hits. Bocce, he's actually trying to heal himself up through this. I don't think that's going to happen. So he's going to go down now. Another one fed into the SF. SF trying to TP out from this one. The Oracle's coming back. Does he have the TP?
Ooh.
No, he does not. It's so close, but it's not enough. SJ hiding in the trees. No, is he get away with this? They lost track of him. Okay.
He makes it.
Jakira lives. Very nice.
That's a bit surprising. They got the Sleight of Fist on earlier. Thought they might at least get the Jakira for their trouble, but a pretty big win for iG.V. They forced 2 buybacks out.
Really big.
Swings
the net worth in their favor.
How? It's not a massive swing, but it still feels good. Again, you're held back by the fact that you lost 2 of your cores pretty much in that exchange, so you still find something of value here for LRNR. We are seeing the issues for our CK. He didn't have the BKB in that fight, couldn't really sustain through. The output coming out is quite high on the side of LRNR when they are allowed to kind of take these fights by themselves. The chrono not being ideal from Big Can, though. That is a little bit off the mark. It still doesn't feel like he has the most damage there.
I would have loved it so much if Roche just came marching past and the faces.
He did. He actually cut off Totoro on that face. So, you know, good old Roche being moody now between day and night, takes his evening commute home.
And they're going for it right
He'll
now.
gets crushed. But they scouted again. They don't have Chrono to play with, though.
Yeah, I don't think they care on iG.V. I mean, it's going to take them a long time to get over here, but even if they can, yeah, I don't think their fighting is up to scratch, so... iG.V should just be taking this one. Flare it all you want, my friend. Nothing to be done. And there we go. Aegis goes into the hands of the Shadow Fiend. This is getting real scary, actually. This game turned on its head. Lonely rock and roll.
Yeah, I feel like LRNR still have really good scaling, just because you have Faceless Void. The issue is just getting that scaling. When you lose map space, and you don't find kills. If you start to lose kills, that's where things get really dicey.
Here. Big Can, he's in a bit of trouble. He's going to chrono this. I mean, let's see if he's got the damage to take down at least the Monkey King. Maybe he will just about. Nope. Monkey King gets away. Big Can runs out. Another chrono, another lack of kills, and this just does not feel good at all.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly where things start to feel really bad. If you don't find any kills off the back, maybe a little bit of a defensive Chrono as well, trying to bail. But he doesn't even run out. He tries to find the kill, doesn't get it.
Just weird
And-
play. That's very, very strange.
Yeah, they weren't ready to back him up there from LRNR. Not fully, at the least. And with that gone, I mean, your defense is gone as well. You're going to lose your tier 2. If iG.V were kind of brave, they could try on the high ground, but it does feel like and they probably could. Like, they still have BKBs ready. They don't really have much to worry about here.
Yukio, where you going, buddy?
Wants to get in the gate.
You can't go in the back
I
door.
think-
It's not your base.
Can he reality rift through the gate?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think that might be what he was trying.
Maybe. I like to think the gate just insta-kills you. I think that'd be fun.
Ah,
Just vaporize
that'd be
you.
funny.
Just walk through.
That would be funny.
Magnus buffed.
Ah.
5 hero
Actually,
RP.
that's-
Skewer into the force field. Vaporize.
Could you drag them through force field as well? Does that work? Because they're with you? It's like,
I
hey,
wouldn't
I'll
have
let
thought
these guys
so,
in.
'cause it's like kinetic field. They just get stuck on the kinetic field.
Hero. It's
So-
not a Magnus buff.
Not a Magnus buff, Sag. Hey, you can still bring them up the high ground though. They don't get stuck on that. Just don't.
But you want to bust them through the gate, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Bust the gates
I just
open.
want to bust them through
Get the
gate.
party started.
Yeah. Team just watching from the outside, like that scene in the Phantom Menace where Obi-Wan watches Qui-Gon Jinn get killed by Darth Maul from behind the force field.
Ah, yeah. That is a great moment in the film.
Yep. We can
Man.
recreate it in Dota, John. We could do it.
If only they'd let us. I mean, who knows? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Although, it probably doesn't. But
Probably
it would be funny if it did. I mean, this patch has had a lot of funky interactions, so would not surprise me.
It has,
So
yeah.
many new things.
Honestly, now that dust is settled, I just love Roche changing homes. I love that shit so much. As yeah,
It's hilarious.
he's dead at the moment, so we can't watch it. But it's so funny. Just come stomping
Yeah,
on through.
I just want to see Luna or Night Stalker with a Phoenix and just confuse the heck out of Roche. He's like, am I going home? Am I not? Then he just gets grumpy, stays in lane, stomps creeps,
Yeah.
gets bugged out. You know?
It's not a
Stuff like
bug.
that.
People keep saying it's a bug. It's not a bug. Roshan,
It's a
just,
feature.
Yeah, he gets annoyed. I was like, I'm not going to spend
He's
my
got
whole
feelings.
game. Yeah, exactly. You gotta respect the big man.
Yeah. And you'd be annoyed too if you kept getting told, oh, go to work, oh, don't go to work, oh, go to work, oh, don't go to work. You just rage.
Yeah.
You know, you'd end up like Michael Douglas and falling down. That's basically what Roche happens. Just loses it.
Cracks. Oh, look at this. I mean, I
Looking
just
for
love the animation of Reign of Destiny. I've always loved the animation,
Oh.
but we never see it because the ability is kind of garbage. But nice hook shot in there. They're going to try and go for SJ. The Requiem's out though. Swam a bit of best time here. They're actually keeping their Jakiro alive. And no one's gone down yet. Let's see if they can actually finish the kill. They can indeed. D-Stones always goes in to finish the job as they just blow up the Oracle as well. Didn't get a chance to answer that one. There's so much damage coming out from the Swashbuckle. Now they find the little clockwork on the side. Yuko trying to bring him down. The device buying him a little bit of time as now the ultimate comes through from Big Can. He can't find the CK, can find the Pangolin, and can find Toroto as well. So that's pretty damn big. Now, can they kill him on the rebound? That is a question. DQQ's trying to try and help him out. He's got the Boundless Striker. Totoro's actually fighting up into this one, but nice jump away from the Faceless Void, and that's going to get them the kill onto the SF. DQQ's also going to get bashed up by the Faceless Void. It's another kill going for Y as they also snipe out Yukio. It's a huge fight for the side of the Radiant as Lonely Rock and Roll take down 4.
They dance around that fight really well, and this time we see a really effective chrono out from Big Can. It looks like it whiffs onto CK. They still get the 2 big cores they need to kind of pin down. And the side of iG.V, I mean, it just boils back to not having an answer for chrono in that last pick. I mean, you just don't have a way of saving once the chrono's up. You didn't have your Jakiro around there. SJ did die off early in the fight. Doesn't have a close TP point to work his way back into that engagement with a buyback, and you know, it falls flat. So this is where it gets scary for iG.V. That was them with Aegis. That was them with a reasonable, even game. Now they're in the back seat. LRNR up ahead. 6k gold their side now. And taking the mid tier 2. Opening up a little bit more of that forward top jungle. They want to invade, keep their farm game going. For iG.V, I'm not sure what you do to fix this, quite frankly. Like, I don't know how you itemize to deal with Chrono. Like, even the build up here on D-Stones is massive. Having the Lincolns and the BKB on hand, blocking off that one hard stun you have in Chaos Bolt, it just helps you dance around. And we talked about the weaknesses of IGV's draft. It's always with these slippery heroes. They've got enough defensive items on hand to ensure that they stay slippery. They will make the move on to the Shard now as well.
Tormentor.
So the Tormentor for DQQ. I keep thinking Tormentor, but almost say Terminator. And I'm like, yeah, that's a copyright.
Yeah,
Can't really
wouldn't
say
want to say that. As you know, you cannot say the title of any movie when you're casting, or
No.
we just get hit with massive fines. It's a tough life.
Oh yeah, it's not the channel, it's us.
Yeah.
We get hit.
Yeah.
I've got a lot
That's
of
why Peacock's
blockers.
broke. Too many references. You can't stop.
Imagine making Pokemon references too. Oh,
No,
that's a
but-
nightmare.
There goes your pay for today. Sorry, John.
Yeah, and that's my pay for my entire life. Gone,
Unlucky.
taken away.
Yep. Looking for free.
what
Shield
it is.
rune. Very cool. Thoughts on the shield rune?
Nice. It's pretty big to just allow you to. It's actually so impactful. I feel like it's a little bit much. 50% of your max HP. It's
Yeah, but
it's a lot of HP.
okay, but if they release double damage rune today, right? Like, you know, imagine we'd never seen double damage rune in the game, and then they released it. We'd all be like, oh my god, this is so overpowered, guys, you know?
I guess there's something about, like, if you think about how HP calculations work in Dota, though, like once you have decent armor, HP adds so much, and barrier is, you know, just more HP in a way. So it boosts your EHP by quite a huge amount. It's kind of silly.
I want to see Clockwork go for it.
I wouldn't say it's broken, but
My
yeah.
guy said he just needs one more Lotus to complete his collection.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Can he do it?
And then get the cheese.
It's possible. Clock, go.
Let's go.
To the right. Come on, Clock. When how? Complete
I
your
don't even know
collection.
what it
Be
said.
Thanos.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's so much.
Oh,
come on,
it's the
Wenhao.
mother load. Look at all those Lotuses.
Let's go, Wenhao.
Oh, this delicious fly. He's got to take them all. He's a greedy bastard. Yeah.
Oh, he needs one more greater healing Lotus. Just one more and then the Roche, and then we get that permanent barrier. Please.
Oh, the fight's going to break out here. They're immediately initiating here onto the sidelines. Can they take down Wenhao? No, Wenhao's flying away with the jetpack. There's the Termins are coming into play, but they've managed to find the Chrono onto Totoro. That is huge. The SF is out of the fight. And on the move over towards Yukio as well. Yukio, though, why is actually the one who's going to get taken down instead. The Pistol ends and he just gets completely killed off, and it looks like Clockwork might be heading the same way, but another jetpack to get himself away. Meanwhile, Big Can fighting on the sidelines, looking for the Pangolier. Ice path off the mark, meaning Big Can can just walk himself away. We'll use the Time Walk eventually, but it's a buyback from the Muerta here. Can they re-engage? Can they find another opening on the side of the Radiant? I think they very well might. IGV, the team trying to get themselves away now. There is no Chronosphere, so the lockdown is lacking on the side of the Radiant, so it does mean that IGV just back themselves out. Kind of surprising they brought back on the Muerta there, has to be said.
Yeah, it's a pretty big buy to force out here on the side of LRNR. And for IGV, that's going to give them a little bit of leeway. If they find YYYY again, take out the Muerta, and the fight is going to be a lot simpler without having to worry about the output YYY does have with a Maelstrom and the Crystal is up. That alone, what appears to Veil, does feel impactful, especially with your Gunslinger up and running. So I think the big play for LRNR was trying to get that and then go into an early rush timer. Like, it is going to be spawning relatively fast here. So they're just going to try to run for it. Only a few seconds away. The side of IGV has to be where it's up, though. So they just need to get themselves in position. Totoro has to be so careful with his positioning. Again, no Chrono to worry about, so the same move can't happen again. But whenever he gets bursted down that fast, a lot of your output is taken away. You need that CK to connect with the SF to get that softening up with the presence of the Dark Lord. Try for a smoke out.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, they need to fight whilst Chrono is down. They really need to. They've got 30 seconds. Let's see if IGV can find anything. I almost want to see them like pick up a Hex or something. Oh, they're going to go for Roshan instead. That's actually kind of big. They get scouted out, but I'm not sure they care too much. Wenhao going to go in looking for the steal, but they've already got eyes upon him. And yeah, 4 heroes jumping out of the pit, just making sure they can secure this one. They are not leaving this up to chance. Get the quick elimination, then back into the pit we go. D-Stone's already at bottom, so yeah, not making any attempts to stop this.
I mean, I'd say it's a worthwhile attempt for Wenhao to go in and grab the cheese, but he had to eat his greater healing Lotus, so he doesn't even get to have the barrier up. Very unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, where's it going?
I mean, I think he ate them.
Why?
In the last fight, handed off to his teammates to try to win out.
I see. Okay, fair enough, I guess.
You do what you gotta do. Sometimes you miss out on the bigger memes, no matter.
It is 900 healing. It's no joke.
Yeah, but the barrier.
I know.
Permanent barrier.
But you're never going to get the barrier if you don't win the fights. Because you'll never get the cheese, John. You'll never get there.
That's true. For the greater good. They had to lose those tasty lotus. I don't think I've ever tried to eat from I've eaten lotus root.
Yeah, I've
I
eaten
believe.
lotus root. It's not
but
great.
not lotus fruit. Lotus root's okay. You know, it's like it's in a lot of Chinese stew. It's pretty all right. Not something I go hunting for, but
no,
not
it's just
something
kind
I'd
of in
say
there.
no
I'm like,
to.
okay, you're there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to get mad about it, but at the same time.
Yeah, same. I'm wondering about fruit though. I've never tried lotus fruit. I'm not even sure if that's an actual thing. So now I'm intrigued.
I would guess not, because lotuses grow in the water, right? And water-based plants don't grow fruits, as a rule.
Yeah, but Ice Frog's never wrong.
I mean, this is a parallel universe, so yeah, sure.
That's true.
In this world, lotus fruits are delicious. Not as delicious as mangoes, though. That's the frog's favorite fruit.
Oh yes. Ooh. Sneaky shot.
Yeah, it's kind of surprised that one didn't land, but it does give him vision on him at the very least. That's one thing people don't realize as well, is that Deadshot does give vision, so you can just fire it into trees, check for monkeys, or check for heroes. It's pretty valuable.
And if it does connect, it's always a little bit annoying, at least.
Yep, certainly an inconvenience. Not as bad as it used to be. They did nerf it quite a bit, which I think was necessary. It was like 2 seconds when it launched, maybe even longer.
Yeah, that's way too much. It's much more manageable now. And this next fight should be manageable for LRNR as well. They've got the Chrono ready. They've got the Scotty up for stats and Big Can. Not going to be as easy to try and focus and burst down that face's Void. I'll try for a smoke play. If they manage to fight into this Aegis well enough, I mean, iG.V could find themselves in a pretty bad situation once more. Have to be careful here.
I'm really upset that DQQ's not going for the disperser. He might have forgotten it exists, who knows, but I feel like Basher is just get a disperser, man. Get the new item. It'll be cool. Watch your teammates just fly around.
True, but they need control. And he is aware that they kind of really lack control. That's just a running topic with iG.V.
Get a disperser.
Speed is king.
New items. Yeah. You don't need control when you're fast enough. Just catch people and survive. Got on someone. Why again. Does not have a buyback. And now they can move across towards Wenhao. The ultimate is there from the Oracle as he now tries to bail out the fight. DQQ, Tax, and Yukio already looking for the +1. As that does mean the Clockwork can at least buy a little bit of extra time, but does fall regardless. iG.V now looking to mount a high ground offensive here. There is no Muerta for a very long time. Oh, and a mistake on the fortify as well. That was actually really critical. The backdoor protection was still active. You don't fort that.
Yeah, no creep wave around. So they can just push in. They'll still have the secondary fort to stall, at the least on the racks, but they need to find a good angle here. If they can work that Chrono out, again, there's still a fighting chance for LRNR, but they're not giving any big Chrono opportunities. Look at the discipline from iG.V, staying very spaced out.
Yep.
Ensuring no multi-core Chronos come out. That's where they really got messed over. When it was only Totoro dying, it was still playable. But when you lost Tax and Totoro, that's Tax and Ukio, that's where things went south very fast.
See, what are they going to do? Are they going to do anything? Big Can is set up in the trees here, but he's going to be seen by DQQ if he sticks around too long, so does now back himself out. And it's going to be a second line of barracks for iG.V. No contest coming out from the side of Lonely Rock and Roll just yet. iG.V fighting for their life here in Division 2, and they're showing that they deserve to be here at the very least. Hook shot actually lands onto DQQ, just knocking him down off the trees. He's sitting here invisible with that Trickster's Cloak.
Yeah.
And here's something you don't
Just
see very
builds up.
often, or at least you used to not see very often. SJ with the Timeless Relic, because he can now choose his own item. So these support players get to get some cool buffing items instead of just whatever's left behind.
Yeah, it's a lot of output on Jakiro. And a lot more hold. Well, I say a lot more hold. It's a decent amount of additional hold from the Ice Path. So you enjoy seeing that. And it's one of those things that the quality of life improvements we have gotten in 7.33 has allowed supports to feel a little bit better. No one's going to be complaining about that one, I'm sure. It feels pretty nice to have these selections on hand.
Yep.
What I am curious about is whether or not they try to go for
God.
the Tormentor again at some point, because
Yeah.
what do you have left? You have 2 shards on bot, so it's the SF and the Jack. So it's a toss-up in the air, but if you get the SF one, that's pretty good.
It's insane. That'd be really, really just a free, massive damage buff to the guy. That'd be so sick. Maybe Jakiro just buys his own and make sure you can get it to the SF.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. They get the Muerta shard, at least from their own Terminator here for LRNR.
Okie dokie. That's a bit of spell lifesteal amplification.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like a bit
And
of
they will...
strong lifesteal in the ultimate.
Oh, that melts pretty fast from Totoro.
Yeah.
And Totoro does get it. Look at that. RNG on their side.
That's so lucky. That's very, very fortunate. Wow. That's insane. So yeah, by the way, on the neutral items, we have 3 Trickster's Cloaks and 3 Mind Breakers in this game, so expect to see a lot of those.
Yeah. That... And yeah, it's one of those things with a patch. You can pick what you want. And sometimes everyone wants the same shiny toy. You get to pick it up. For the side of LRNR now, I mean, it all kind of hinges on Big Can getting these chronos. If he can get the big ones he needs, that's where, again, iG.V still have no good solution for it.
Shot through. They managed to find the Monkey King. They knock him down with the trees, but he's got the BKB to back himself away and actually jumps back in. Now looking for the engagement onto Wenhao, but Wenhao, he's got the protection from the Oracle right behind him, making him immune to magic, but they're doing a lot of physical damage to him regardless. In comes the jetpack to get himself away, and now the Chrono comes down. They manage to catch up DQQ, but can they do the damage to Yukio? No, they cannot. Chrono really not getting much done here at all. Now they back out. D-Stone's still fighting on the front lines, though, trying to find Totoro. Totoro actually taking a ton of damage here, but D-Stones, he has to back away now, as does Bochi. Why? He was the one doing the damage in this fight, but now that ultimate has ended, he is very, very vulnerable, and it is going to go down. That's the thing with Muerta, you need to take the fights quickly, and if you don't get off the damage and kill off at least 1 or 2 big cores with that Pierce the Veil, then things go wrong very, very fast. Buyback now coming out from the Muerta, but they don't have a buyback on the Faceless Void. This was his first death of the game, by the way, if you can believe it.
Not insane, but he bought out. The high ground, it's just going to melt. They do have the refresh ready on D-Stones. No Ag, so it's not as insane on the Ember.
I found DQQ. They might be able to kill him off here. Another Pierce the Veil just to make sure they get this one. Actually changes target towards Yukio instead. That's going to leave the Monkey King alive. This is kind of questionable, but it is going to get them the kill. But Bochi is dead, as is Wenhao. Tags taking hits, and the Spirit jumping around, doing the work. Wenhao with the buyback as well. 30 seconds till the Void is back into the game. D-Stones, he needs to play to his absolute limit here as in comes a Rolling Thunder to kill off Wenhao. They still haven't caught why, but they might get D-Stones here.
Oh,
the fear is through. He's out of remnants. He's out of everything. The Sleight of Fist is going to end it. He will die. Can they do anything? No, the disarm comes through. Why? Can't even finish off the kill onto the SF, so they get pretty much no one here. And it looks like this may well be the end as down goes the Muerta. iG.V, they keep their chances alive in style here in this game, number 3.
They stay in the running. They're not completely out of the tour yet. We could have tiebreakers coming out. LRNR, their path to staying in Div 2 just gets a lot more complicated.